It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Kitchenland USA, and Smouse Brothers Foundation Repair and Waterproofing. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hi there. Good morning to you on Thursday. Glad you're with us. We appreciate you watching, appreciate you listening. Whatever it is you're doing on your drive, thanks for being with us. Let's tell you about some news.
All right. The bomb squad was called out to a traffic stop in Aurora. A driver was apparently driving his car with a live IED, like improvised explosive device, on him. Officers pulled him over on Tuesday night for blocking an alleyway near Elliott and Cofield. They ended up finding it in there. They took it to a nearby firing range to detonate it. Police also say they found illegal drugs on him as well, and some paraphernalia. No charges have yet been filed. All right. If someone you know has a fentanyl problem, hopefully that's not the case, but if it is, they need to know that there is what is called the purple fentanyl. Ethan and I were talking about this a few days ago when it was in Oklahoma, but apparently it has made its way to Missouri. It's called purple fentanyl because the pills are purple in color. That substance has recently been found in Johnson County, Missouri, and in Omaha. Police say that it is fentanyl that has been mixed with an anesthetic lidocaine. And that is what makes it resistant to Narcan. Narcan, of course, is the medication that you can give to a person who is overdosing. And in many cases, it has saved a life because it's like the antidote to an opioid overdose. But anyway, this new fentanyl laced with this stuff is not actually responding to it. So again, it's in Missouri. Not necessarily in the Ozarks, but if it's in Johnson County, it could be in Greene County and beyond. So beware.
Man, sad deal. At last check, more than 2,600 people have signed a petition to try to get Springfield Public Schools to reverse its decision to do away with the varsity football season this year at Central High School. The decision was made late in the game, you could say, to pull the plug, saying the school would only have a junior varsity team this year due to too few players signing up to play. At issue is not only that they can't play, but also the last-minute timing. Telling the team the news broke just days before school started, so they didn't have a whole lot of warning. Superintendent of schools spoke at the school board meeting, saying that only 10 players had signed up for the football team and cited player safety as a reason to pull the plug. The district says it hopes to reinstate the program in 2026. That petition that they got going on, they're trying to get 5,000 signatures. I don't know if there's anything magical about that number, but that's what they're going for.
I don't either. But it is interesting because you have 11 players on the field at a time for football. So apparently there were like 4 seniors and 6 juniors, I think. So, it's a hard sell, but also the timing is absolutely terrible.
Well, you got to have how do you know who's going to sign up to play football until they do, until it's time to do that? You know what I mean?
Know, yeah.
I don't know how far in advance you can know that not enough kids are going to play.
Yeah.
Big hat tip to the Rotary Club of Table Rock Lake. They made an $8,000 donation to the Reed Spring Band after a thief stole the band's trailer that the band operates out of, carries all their equipment, instruments, that sort of thing. It had food supplies in it, grills, griddles, canopies, all the stuff that they use to try to raise money. Stolen trailer has still not been recovered, so the Rotary Club stepped in to help to supply it for them. So way to go, Rotary Club of Table Rock Lake.
Mm-hmm. It appears there is an outbreak of hand, foot, and mouth disease at Fort Leonard Wood. The hospital there has seen 12 cases so far across the 1st Battalion, 48th Infantry Regiment. That is a virus that comes with a fever, sore throat, mouth sores, and of course a skin rash on your hands and feet, which is why it's called that, hand, foot, and mouth. Most cases apparently are pretty mild, but make sure you're washing your hands and all surfaces because it is easy to spread. So you got to be very sanitary. Springfield schools will be adding some bus routes using an outside agency to help. Students in middle school and many students in the choice programs should have increased accessibility over the next 3 years. The school board agreed to a $750,000 bid that was approved through a statewide cooperative purchasing agreement. So with this third-party bus driver helping out on some routes that need covered, the district says it'll be especially beneficial for students who have disabilities because they typically should have the same driver every day.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
Heads up, next Saturday is called Saturation Saturday. It's a time when law enforcement agencies across the state and really across the country focus on pulling over drivers who have been drinking or who they think have been drinking, hosting checkpoints to randomly check people. The Labor Day weekend is one of the busiest and sadly most dangerous weekends of driving out of the whole year. Officers say their motto is drive sober or get pulled over. In 2023, drunk driving killed 510 people over the Labor Day holiday weekend. It's a lot of lives shattered, family members shattered. Sadly, the Kansas City Chiefs defensive end Felix Anudike-Uzomah, his season is over really before it ever started. This was supposed to be his third season in the NFL. He played for K-State, then was selected to the first round of the 2023 NFL draft. As you know, probably he hurt his hamstring in a preseason game, and now we know he will not be well enough to return this season, is what the Chiefs are saying. So that is a big loss for sure. And then there's a former Missouri Tiger football player and former Kansas City Chief player will now be behind the microphone for a while. Chase Daniel will be broadcasting college football this season over at ESPN. He played at AMU from 2005 to 2008 and then spent 13 years in the National Football League, including 3 seasons with your Kansas City Chiefs, 2013, 14, and 15.
Very cool. Good for him. One of the biggest power boating weekends is coming up this weekend at Lake of the Ozarks. The shootout draws thousands of boaters and fans. This is the 37th year for that race as competitors vie for the Lieutenant Governor's Cup and what's called the Top Gun Award. The main event starts Friday. So tomorrow, people are already there. They're lined up. Traffic is snarled. Businesses are full. And I'm sure the drinks are flowing. So watch out at Lake of the Ozarks. Speaking of sobriety checkpoints and just safety on the roads. There you go.
It's funny that it's
I've been there for that. And it is quite the crowd.
It's funny to me how they're going for the Lieutenant Governor's Cup. Who gets the Governor's Cup?
That's actually funny. That is funny.
I've never heard anyone win a Lieutenant Governor's Cup.
I don't know.
It's like a Vice President's Award.
Right.
Not interested. Thanks. I'll pass.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I wonder if someone like yourself is in charge of it. That's like something you would do. Like you would call it the Lieutenant Governor's Cup.
Lieutenant Governor's Cup. Yeah.
Just to be hilarious.
Secretary of State Cup.
Yeah. All right. That's it. That's all we got. Don't forget to check out all the contests and the events page at aroundtheozarks.com. We always have things up for grabs, good things up for grabs, might I add. And then the events calendar is second to none in the Ozarks.
That's right. There's a lot of stuff going on.
That
and
is
if you're
a
not
fact.
careful, you may look in the weeks ahead and see some festivals, fall festival stuff happening.
I can't even believe it.
Harvest festivals and whatnot.
Yeah, it's coming.
We
y'all.
we were out last night and we finished up about 8:30 and came outside and it was dark, which was crazy. It seemed. It came out of nowhere this year. The darkness so early.
Yes.
But it's happening. Days are getting shorter as we speak.
So watch out for that.
Pretty soon it'll be dark at 4:30.
Yeah, man. Okay, y'all have a great day at work. We are super thankful for your viewership, your listenership. Share it with a friend, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, brought to you by Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, and Taylor Grubosh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Temperatures are in the 60s, so it is a nice, cool start to the day. It'll be a summer-like afternoon once again, but starting in the mid-60s feels pretty nice out early on. Get out and beat the heat if you can. We've got temperatures climbing today to 88 degrees in Springfield. Others may touch 90, so it'll still be a summer-like day across the Ozarks with loads of sunshine. But that north breeze from yesterday behind the cold front sure is nice, and it has allowed our numbers to cool off into the 60s. We'll head back to the 60s for overnight lows again tonight. Things are looking pretty nice for us, and this is kind of typical summer weather in the Ozarks. This is about how it normally feels in late August. We have cooler mornings, warm afternoons, but sunshine in between. That means that temperatures can heat up and cool down rather quickly. Relative humidity, not too bad today. That cold front really helped to dry our air out, and the lower dew point temperatures are leading to some nice feelings out in the air. Again, I mentioned we have temperatures making their way to 88 degrees in Springfield today. Nothing in the way for rainfall, and I think that's going to be the case for the next few days. Not only do we have near average temperatures to round out the work week forecast, but we also have dry conditions to end the rest of the week. High temperatures, they'll be topping out in the upper 80s and low 90s today and tomorrow. Then we've got temperatures that are actually going to be a bit cooler as we get into Sunday behind yet another cold front that is going to be passing through the Ozarks. I think the cold front this weekend, though, is going to pass as a dry cold front, meaning that we won't see any rainfall out of it. We barely get any cloud cover for the weekend forecast. It is going to knock the temperatures down for late in the weekend into the early part of next week. And in fact, I think temperatures will even be below average as we head into the early part of next week. The outlook for August 27th through September 2nd, also looking below normal. We are going to have some chilly nights in the forecast too, with low temperatures heading back into the 50s in the extended forecast. Numbers today, 88 degrees in Springfield. I think we should have mainly sunny skies today and tomorrow. A bit of cloud cover over the weekend, but I'm still keeping things rain-free. We'll see high temperatures Saturday and Sunday. A little bit different. Saturday, the hotter of the two. So if you have anything that you want to plan outdoors, I would choose Sunday. It looks like a lovely day in the forecast with temperatures in the mid-80s and low temperatures starting out in the upper 50s each day of the weekend. So things will be feeling almost fall-like a couple of different mornings in this forecast. Around the country, what's making headlines? Well, it's dangerous surf and rip currents for most of the Atlantic shoreline. Not only is that true for today, but I think there's still going to be some dangerous coastal conditions as we head into tomorrow as well and round out Friday. Conditions are going to be hot out on the West Coast. In fact, record heat is looking possible, with record temps possible for parts of Southern California, Nevada, and New Mexico. There are high heat warnings as well as heat advisories in place for our friends out west. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question of the day. And the question that I had for you, once again, was related to hurricanes with Erin spinning out in the Atlantic. It is timely. Which part of a hurricane typically produces the most destructive winds and the heaviest rainfall? Do you think it's A, the eye, B, the eye wall, C, the outer rain bands, or D, the storm surge? Well, 3 of the 4 are destructive parts of a hurricane, but the most destructive winds and the heaviest rainfall, they can be found in B, the eye wall. Not to be confused with the eye, which is the calm center. Then you get woken up and the eye wall hits because it is the dangerous ring-like structure of a tall thunderstorm. It surrounds the eye of a hurricane, and it is characterized by intense rainfall and powerful winds. In the eye wall, hurricane wind speeds can exceed 150 miles per hour, and it is the area where the most damaging winds and the heavy precipitation are found within the storm. So it's definitely not a place that you want to see pass over. Here's a trivia question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. What is the name of the phenomenon where a hurricane rapidly intensifies with wind speeds increasing by at least 35 miles per hour within 24 hours? Do you think this is A, storm surge, B, rapid deepening, C, eye reformation, or D, a tropical wave? You can let me know your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. I hope you have an enjoyable day across the Ozarks. It's looking like a nice summer afternoon. Thanks to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, and Taylor Greenbaum Chevrolet. Chat again tomorrow morning.